My best interview tip is to leave breadcrumbs. This comes from someone who's both interviewed for a lot of jobs and has now interviewed a lot of candidates now as part of building my own company. And this is day 9 of all the best things that I learned at Stanford Business School that I paid $250K to learn that I'm now teaching here for free. So leaving breadcrumbs. What I mean by that is giving the other person, usually the interviewer, a chance to grasp onto something that you're talking about to then further explore. You can do this in 2 very specific ways. The first is when you're actually in an interview itself. The biggest mistake I see people make is answering questions like, tell me about yourself, in like 5-minute chunks. 5 minutes is a long time, okay? There's a reason why TikTok videos that are like 30 seconds or less are the most popular. People have short attention spans. If a candidate is going on and on and on about themselves for 5 minutes, I guarantee you your interviewer is not paying attention. I know where that tendency comes from because I used to do it myself. You want to share as much about your background as possible and make sure that they know how amazing you are, but you're actually doing the opposite. Instead, the best candidates leave something called breadcrumbs. They answer questions like, tell me about yourself, in just 1 minute or less. Yet in their answer, they're both succinct, but they also give the highlights of things that they actually want to talk about, aka the breadcrumbs. You're literally leaving the highlights, leading the interviewer down a trail to talk about things that make you look your best, but leaving the interviewer to actually guide the conversation. This benefits you because it feels more like a conversation, they're more engaged, they're more invested. They also know what's most relevant for the job, so you won't be wasting your time sharing things that aren't even things that they care about. The other way I see people do this well is the time around an interview. People want to work with people and people who are interesting. I can't tell you the number of times that I've seen people really stand out in job interviews because they're just interesting people. People who have weird, quirky hobbies, they were an athlete in college, they've done weird trips, they have strange interests, and they read obscure books. These are the things that make people stand out. You might not get the job because you're quirky, but these are the memorable things that when an interviewer is literally in a committee talking about all the candidates, these are the things that sticks in his or her mind. How do you actually take advantage of this? Make sure to utilize time, especially around an interview setting, to highlight those things. So for example, the next time your interviewer walks you from the waiting room to the interview room and asks you, how are you? Don't just say, good, how are you? Instead, answer with breadcrumbs, but give them an XYZ thing that you did last night or over the weekend that got you really excited, and then give them the chance to follow up and ask you more.